Should zombies go back to having paid DLC? Of course not. I've been doing a lot of rare achievement videos lately, and I'm glad my viewers have loved them. But my wife got me hooked on Bridgerton, and I'm behind on making the Infinite Warfare one. I was browsing the zombie subreddit as always, looking at the usual tomfoolery, when someone posted the opinion that future zombies games should go back to having each map cost money. That's an opinion I see from time to time, and at a glance, it's not the worst logic in the world. After all, Origins, Der Eisendrache, Mob of the Dead, and Ancient Evil, to name a few, all cost money and are community-loved maps. Well, the most beloved map since the free DLC model started is what, Mauer der Toten? But here's the thing, when you actually think about it, no one but Activision would benefit from the maps returning to a paid DLC format. Keep in mind, this video is my opinion and I'm not gonna claim this is objective fact. Why don't you let me know down in the comments what you think? Should we go back to paid DLC? And let me know other topics you'd like me to discuss in videos. And if you do enjoy this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. It's the best way for me to know if you want to see more of these discussion videos. The biggest reason is that the nature of gaming has changed. Let's look back to say 2015. Games as a service was barely in its infancy, and microtransactions had only started to increase their vice grip on the neck of the gaming world. But still, bundles for skins was not really a thing. Without microtransactions being as big as they are today, especially in Call of Duty, games were at their most profitable at launch, but then that was it. DLC was still the main way to prolong a game's profitability. That's not to say there weren't low-effort DLCs before. Everyone's familiar with the famous Oblivion horse armor, settlement building DLCs in Fallout 4, and Hearthfire from Skyrim. But by and large, companies spent hundreds of hours on DLC because they had to justify the price tag. Think of all the Civilization DLCs, Undead Nightmare, and especially The Sims. Zombies was no exception. Of course, assets were reused here and there, but that's something that's been going on for decades. A majority of Zombies maps were original. Say what you will about community maligned maps like Die Rise, basically every World War II DLC, and most Infinite Warfare DLC, but these were largely original maps with meticulous detail put into them. Hell, even Black Ops 4's Ether maps, while being reimaginings of older maps, contain dozens of secrets and Easter eggs that provide clear examples of a lot of love and passion. Did you know in Alpha Omega there are 23 unique codes you can enter into Rushmore for a wide variety of effects? There are at least 3 different rewards related to the mannequins, 2 jump scares, and 4 different Ray Gun Mark II upgrades. Then you have Tog der Toten having quests for every unique wonder weapon, Samantha's music box, and even a reference to Shangri-La. There's even a quest to have the hermit piss on the snowballs, turning them yellow, making them stronger. I've actually got a video on snowballs only if that interests you. And these are maps that are constantly bashed for being reimaginings of Nuketown Zombies and Call of the Dead, among other things. Let's flash forward to now. The system of buying operators and skins prove that gamers are now willing to drop $20 on the way a character looks when they used to pay $15 or so for a brand new Zombies map and like 4 multiplayer maps. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big proponent of the philosophy of spending your hard-earned money the way you want. Shit, I bought Skeletor for myself and Timothy Chalamet for my wife. Waste of money, Timothy Chalamet. Extremely boring lines. Skeletor is a 10 out of 10 though. But the truth is, why would Activision bother spending hundreds of hours on the next banger Zombies map when they can just take a level from the campaign, plop some Zombies assets on it, and pump it out for free? In the current gaming landscape, there's zero incentive for Activision to put effort into Zombies when they can spend whatever short amount of time it takes to get Snoop Dogg and whatever Diablo characters they want in the game. The truth is, if we went back to paid DLC, we would get Cold War and Vanguard quality maps for the same price that we used to get Der Eisendrache and Ancient Evil, or maybe even more due to inflation. I feel that the crux of the go back to paid DLC argument stems from the belief that we'll get great maps if we have to pay for them. But then you have to remember that payment isn't a guarantee of quality. To this day, essentially every World War II DLC map is despised by a large portion of the community. Imagine, you bought the season pass and every map is a flop. You're probably saying that don't buy the season pass, dumbass. But from a financial standpoint, it's cheaper to buy the season pass than to buy each map individually. Or in Black Ops 4's case, you couldn't get the DLC at all without the season pass. Let's not leave Infinite Warfare out of the discussion. Sure, Raven the Redwoods tends to get some love, but Shaolin Shuffle, Attack of the Radioactive Thing, and especially Beast from Beyond tend to not be well regarded. Beast from Beyond is widely called one of the worst Zombies maps of all time. Not even Treyarch is bulletproof in this regard. Die Rise, while originally liked due to not being transit, is now considered by many to be terrible. Zetsubo no Shima is trending towards a more positive reputation in recent years, but for a long time it was considered to be a meh map, and by some YouTubers to be a major speed bump in Black Ops 3, following the release of the greatest map of all time. I've already mentioned Alpha Omega and Tog der Toten's reputation reputation, but the one that hurts me the most is Dead of the Night. For years, Dead of the Night was hated for the amount of parts, locations, and the cast, and it's begun moving in a more positive reputation, but many people still say the map isn't good. I wanted to wrap this video up with a couple of examples of high-quality free DLC updates that some games have provided to prove that yes, free DLC can be excellent, but the game studio has to put in the work. The most obvious example is one of my favorite games, Stardew Valley. If you've watched some of my achievements videos, you've heard music from the game. Stardew Valley was a massive game when it released, giving you hundreds of hours of content, but it didn't stop there. Throughout the years, Concerned Ape, the creator and developer, has released 6 massive updates that have added a plethora of things. New farm types, more activities, dialogue changes, and even an entire new island to explore. Did I mention he's just one guy who does this all for a game that you can buy on Steam for $15? I would absolutely pay $70 for this game, and it feels criminal to only pay $15. Now I know it was an extremely controversial game at launch, but No Man's Sky is surprisingly another game that has released massive updates for no extra charge. This includes base building, more races, quests, and vehicles. Admittedly, I don't play No Man's Sky that often anymore, but there's no denying that these free updates were impressive. You could probably argue the case that No Man's Sky needed to do this as recompense for the broken promises at launch, and I wouldn't even say you're wrong, but they could have taken the money and run. Instead, they provided huge updates of value with no additional cost. There are likely plenty of other examples out there, but I'm the kind of guy that doesn't really play a variety of games. I just stick with what I like. But I hope you can see my point of view in this video of why I feel that returning to a paid DLC model for zombies would be a mistake. Thank you for watching the video, and remember, these are my opinions, not fact.